Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the 21st Annual Garden State Film Festival. My name is Ming Chen. We are here live at the Shared Universe Podcast Lounge, located at the beautiful Berkeley Oceanfront Hotel, where we'll be streaming live with filmmakers all throughout the festival. And I'm here with
CJ Cullen.
He's
Hello.
back, everybody.
Back.
How you feeling? Welcome back, my friend.
I feel all right now, so I'm good to go. Let's rock it.
Were you not feeling okay later? Like, this gives me energy, man. This gives me life being here.
It does now. I feel good now. You know, I had a long day, so let's just have fun.
Yeah, let's have fun. So we are here with our second filmmaker interview, and one near and dear to my heart because I know her. Friends, this is Samantha LaRochelle, everybody. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. I know you primarily as a musician and as a friend of a daughter of a friend of mine. I did not know you were involved in films and a filmmaker as well. And congratulations in getting into the festival. It is not easy. I don't know if you know this.
No.
They don't take everybody.
Yeah.
And you're here with a short called Next Steps. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us about it?
Yeah. So actually, my dad passed away when I was in high school. Who was a friend of Ming's and a friend of a bunch of people at the Stash and everything. But he had cancer, and I was 17 when he passed, and I, at the time, obviously was going through it, but I also kept thinking to myself, I have to remember what this was like.
Right.
Because I felt that a lot of people expected things from me, or reactions from me, that I wasn't having, and I felt like it was because no one knows what it's like until it happens.
Yeah.
And a lot of people's reactions are based off of film and TV media.
Right.
And a lot of times in film and TV and media, people depict people who are sick or who find out they're going to die as like all of a sudden they're very sage, they're very wise, or people who are dealing with it take it like very gracefully.
Right.
Don't ever make those mistakes that you make in real life. So I wrote a feature about it for school. I went to NYU for film. I was in a screenwriting program there.
It's amazing.
And
Wow.
I made one of my thesis projects was about like this script idea that I had.
Yeah.
About specifically being in high school while everything was happening
Right.
as well. Felt like a very different experience than most people probably have when losing a parent. And then I really wanted to make it. It's really hard to fund a feature film, so I condensed it down.
Start with shorts, my friends, especially if you're a student.
Yeah. So I condensed it quite a bit to kind of like the core principles of what I wanted to say and show people, and that's what this short is kind of just showing a little bit of people who love each other, but it's still messy when you're dealing with any kind of grief, and you know, especially when you're grieving actively and the person is still with you.
Right.
So that's what this is about. Is kind of what that's like. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you mentioned, I was a friend of your father's. Knew him for a long time. He was a Kevin Smith fan. He supported everything I did as well. You know, outside of Kevin, he was a comic book man. Everything. Yeah, really great guy. Big Batman fan.
Yeah.
He loved comics. He loved pop culture, and he was just a hell of a guy.
Yeah.
And we loved. He stopped in Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, kind of our like HQ. Stopped in often, or I just even when I would come in and Walt would be like, "Oh, LaRochelle was just in there." I was like, "Oh man, I just missed him." I was like, "Oh, that stinks." And yeah, great guy. And yeah, I remember he came in. He's like, "Yeah, he told us what his diagnosis." And yeah, I remember talking. I was like, "Oh man, that it's awful." But I think we knew he had kids, young, a family, young kids, and we're like, "Oh man, how are they dealing with this?" And so you channeled this into this project. I had no idea that you worked on this, so I need to see this first of all, and I'm kind of personally invested in it. But how long after his death were you like, I think I need to tell a story about this?
Yeah. So while it was happening, I kept kind of thinking about all of my teachers, my friends, people my age and adults, just like don't really know what to do with you. They're
right.
like, I don't know what this is like. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
And everyone, just to be clear, if anyone sees it and they're like, I know everyone had the best of intentions with everything they said.
Oh, sure.
No one ever said anything that I was like, that's crazy.
Right.
But it is hard, and I felt like I wish that there was a way that people could understand this without me currently right now having to explain it.
Yeah.
So I knew even while he was still with us and still sick that I was like, this is an experience I'm probably going to at some point try to write about, whether it be literal or using different characters or whatever it is, just I feel like it's kind of important because people have a different idea of what this is like than I think it really is like.
Right.
And I started writing it like 3 years after he passed.
Okay.
Because I do think it's important to give some time and some space
Right.
between something happening and really diving into it. But yeah, it was like my last little bit at college.
Yeah.
I decided, okay, well, this is what I want one of my like last scripts here to be.
Right.
And I had great professors that were really helpful in the whole process and gave like a good outside view to make sure that I was explaining enough and getting through enough of what needed to be in there for other people to understand. And yeah, I was really, really happy and proud of that and knew I wanted it to be something that I could make for people to watch. So that's how I eventually got to this.
Were you able to use like the equipment at NYU for this project, or was this after?
This is after I graduated.
Okay.
So I wanted it to be kind of like my first post-grad project that I put out, which unfortunately does mean I didn't get to use the NYU equipment.
Yeah.
But it was a really great experience to be able to kind of crowdfund.
What about your crew? Was it NYU people?
It was a lot of NYU people, yeah.
Okay.
Which was great. Yeah, I had a lot of people that I was really good friends with during school, and some people who my friends, it was their friends, and they were like, this guy's a great DP, and like we're gonna use him. And so I met people after my time at NYU from NYU through this project as well. So it was really great. I had a lot of awesome collaborators, and I'd say like a really high percentage, like 80% of probably of the crew was NYU, and then some of them were actually from Communications High School.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, wow.
It's,
Where I
yeah,
went,
my daughter went there as well.
Yeah.
So and I saw they have many fine resources there. They
Yeah.
have great instructors. It's a very first time I went there, I looked all the stuff. Like there's a podcast studio there.
Yeah, you liked
there's
it.
like a
I
TV
remember that.
studio. There's they have a film and TV room, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, do you take adults here? Can I go here? They're like, let me think. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, your
But
kid
yeah.
can come here.
So
and
it's
you
really
can't.
good for your craft that
Yeah.
you want to do
Yeah.
in the high school.
It was awesome. Yeah, David Salo, I always shout out every time
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I'm anywhere. He
Yeah,
was
he-
my first film teacher. And
Did you do any
he's
shorts
great.
back then that you submitted to film festivals? Because that's probably where you saw me.
You know
Because
what? Yeah,
I
I
ran
did.
a lot of little film festivals, and you probably submitted films.
I did.
That's
yeah.
probably what it was.
I actually was in Garden State in like I think 2015 or 2016
Yeah.
in the high school like films section, and it was in Atlantic City that year.
Yeah.
So I have been to Garden State before, but I also did like All American. I
Yeah.
definitely submitted a lot in high school. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, you probably did some of the ones that I was working at or ran
Yeah.
too. So that's probably where we
Yeah.
crossed paths early.
That's true. Yeah.
So scripting this out, I mean, did it just start flowing, or was it hard to write?
Yeah, I think for this, the short actually, the hardest stage for me was just kind of trying to think of what do I think is really the core of the script that I
Right.
want to talk about. So the short took a little while in the pre-stages
Okay.
just to kind of like decide what's the kernel that I think is like kind of the proof of concept for this whole
Right.
idea.
Yeah. There, you had a
Yeah.
wide range of things
Yeah.
stories to tell, I guess.
Yeah.
So
And kind of just hone that in. So that took a while, but then once I had it, I think it only went through a few stages of revisions
Okay.
with some of my like collaborators before we were like, okay, we think this is actually it. Like we've got it. So the actual writing was pretty fast.
Yeah.
But it was a matter of deciding what our exact idea was that took me a little bit longer.
Okay. And when did you shoot this?
This we shot in August of 2021, and the post-production took a long time.
Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
think once you had the footage, well, shooting was no small feat. You were right in the
Yeah.
middle of COVID.
Yeah.
So all the restrictions. I don't know if you had to go like testing, just being
Yeah.
careful.
Our crew was really small too.
Okay.
For a lot of those reasons, yeah.
Right, and even filming on locations, people were kind of wary about that as well. It was definitely filmmaking in 2020, 21 into
Yeah.
22, definitely challenging.
Yeah.
And I admire anyone who tackled it during that time because, I mean, doing it without a pandemic, it's hard enough.
Wasn't easy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and now you
This
added
is
all
what we
this-
were doing.
Yeah.
This stuff online.
Yeah, we were doing it
Yeah.
all online. There for sure.
was what-
And so, what's the runtime?
It's just about 13 minutes, I think. I'd have to look at the exact, but it's 13 minutes in the program, so I'm going to go with that.
Okay, and you're screening tomorrow, 12:15,
Yeah.
at the Jersey Shore Arts Center.
Yep.
Nice.
Which is really
I love
cool
that
venue.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there plenty of times.
Yeah, really
Watched
cool
movies
venue.
there.
Walkable from here.
Yeah.
And kind of used to be an old school, and
Yep.
they have this really
Jack
cool.
Nicholson went there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it.
you got history there, my friend. Apparently,
Yeah.
apparently
Or the
Jack.
prom there or something. He has some kind of connection.
Okay, his
That's crazy.
his
There.
spirit is at the
Yeah.
Jersey Shore
Yeah.
Arts Center. That's amazing. Have you screened this anywhere else? Has it been in
Or
other
is this the
festivals?
No,
is
this
this
is the premiere. Yeah.
Wow.
This is
Amazing.
the first time. It's not
Awesome.
even
So
public
go
online.
see it.
Yes,
Go see it,
Yeah.
people. Go see
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
So when you're filming it, so the writing process, and based on real, but when you're actually filming it and seeing the actors perform stuff you have
lived
been
through,
you
yeah.
lived
Yeah.
through. What is the feeling for that? Or are you watching an actor and being like,
I-
no, you can't do it that way?
I acted in it. So
Okay.
There you go.
Well, then that's how you get it. That's,
So
how,
that's how you get it done.
That's how you get it done.
I didn't direct it. It was a friend
Okay.
of mine, Madeline Murdoch. So I wrote and produced and acted in it because I knew that doing something like directing it while acting would be too much.
Right.
But
Absolutely, yeah.
but I was in it as basically myself. And then the actor who plays my dad actually went to the high school that used to be connected to the Jersey Shore Arts Center.
Oh, wow, okay.
I only
Wow.
found that recently. He
Yeah.
told me, but I was like, that's crazy.
That
So
is crazy.
another connection. But yeah, I did it myself. So that's how I skirted around that.
Was it tough casting that part? Because
Yeah.
I mean, your dad was a pretty unique individual.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, I'm even trying to think of maybe like a celebrity I would cast as him, and I can't. Yeah, I can't even come up with anybody.
Yeah, it was definitely difficult. The casting process threw us for a loop for a few reasons. It was during COVID. It was
Yeah.
really hard to get auditions happening.
Right.
I actually found Brian is our actor, and
Okay.
I found him through. I'm trying to remember if you would know who this is. There's a documentarian from around Jersey who does Driving Jersey.
Okay, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
of it too,
and
yeah.
he's a family friend because he did an episode on Rocket, which is a program I was
Yep,
in when
yeah,
I was
well,
younger.
yeah.
And so that he's a family friend of ours, and he was like, I have this awesome actor. He teaches now. He used to. My mom was like, you don't know Brian Garskill? And I was like, sorry. And he was in a lot of soap operas.
Okay.
Like he's like
Okay.
he's a very big deal
Yeah.
to people. And so I was like, oh, I didn't know like how big of a deal it was when I first spoke to him.
Right.
So I was like, well, good thing I didn't, because maybe I would have been nervous. but
Probably, yeah,
He was
I think,
the
yeah.
nicest guy, and I think he did a fantastic job with
Okay.
it. He asked me a lot about my dad, and he saw photos and things
Okay.
of stuff, and I think he was a great choice, and I think it came out the way it did because he was so awesome. And there was also an actress who played my mom who was lovely and wonderful.
No.
But yeah, it was hard to cast. It
Oh,
took
yeah, I
quite a
can't
while,
imagine.
But I think it ended up with like the perfect people in the roles. So I was really glad.
That's awesome. Has your family seen this?
Yes,
Okay.
my mom and my sisters have seen it, which is good because they would have killed me if by now they still hadn't seen it. It's been a long time since we filmed it.
Right. And
But yeah.
what'd they think?
I think they all had great reactions.
Okay.
I wasn't there physically with them when they watched it for the first time.
Okay.
But so I got feedback
Afterwards.
via text and things. But they all, I think, had really great reactions. My mom definitely really liked it. I don't quote me on it, but I think my older sister might have cried. But that
Okay.
might just be might just be me misremembering. Sorry, Allison. But I think she did.
What's next for it?
So it's still out to some other festivals. We're gonna see where it goes the rest of this.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them get back to me around now.
Around this
So
time.
we'll find out.
And then feature?
Yeah.
I'd love
Would you
to
like to?
make the
It
feature,
could be okay. I would love to see a feature version.
Yeah, I have the script, so I've kind of just been, trying to tell people about it, to get this out there, the short,
Yeah.
so that people can see at least kind of what it's about.
Right.
And then I have the feature script, and I'd love to make it, but it's a matter of funding a whole feature is
Yeah.
different
Well,
than funding the
this
short.
is where you start though.
Yeah.
It's like, hey,
Sure
this
is.
this is just a taste.
Yeah.
Expanded, this could be even better. So fund it. Like
Yeah.
help me distribute it.
Yeah.
And go
help me
see
get
it
it made.
tomorrow.
But
Yeah.
definitely go see it for sure. What do you hope people get out of this when they see it?
So I hope that people kind of come out of it realizing that like it's okay that things are messy
Yeah.
when you're going through something like that, and it doesn't mean anything bad about any of the people involved. That maybe your initial reaction is especially as a kid, your gut reaction
Yeah.
could be something you don't actually feel. It could be lashing out in different ways
Right.
and stuff like that. And I hope people see that, empathize with it. And also, if this is something that anyone's gone through and they watch it, I really hope that they see something in it where they're like, oh, I felt more alone than I was in that situation. You know, like there are people who
like I can relate to this.
Yeah, exactly. So my reactions, I always felt like were a lot different than what I saw. So I'm hoping that other people can relate and feel seen in that, you know. Yeah.
I mean, personally, I think this is a great way to channel your feelings and grief into something that you can share and possibly inspire and help other people out.
Yeah.
I mean, very personal project, you know, one that a lot of people probably wouldn't have tackled. So I admire you for that as well. And, you know, obviously it was awesome because you got in the Garden State Film Festival. Yeah, they don't take everybody. And you know, having known your father, I think is a great tribute to him. Again, great guy. Left a big impression on all of it. We still talk about him to this day. I think my best memory of him was that he liked to frame everything. So every collectible, he liked to frame. So big shout out to our friend George Kormos from Revere Framing in Middletown. I think he may have single-handedly kept George in business. And, you know, well, in addition to us and all of us over at Jane's Up Secret Stash. And now Kevin's using him as well. So George, if you're watching this, and I know you are, you're welcome, I guess. So yeah, for sure. Yeah. But we can't wait to check it out. Again, it's called Next Steps. Screens Saturday, March 25th at 12:15 at the Jersey Shore Arts Center. Definitely check it out. Do you have a trailer online? Is there a trailer on YouTube?
There's a short trailer that's actually on the Garden State website.
Okay, gsff.org.
Yeah, I did play last
night.
Okay,
you were at the Meet the Filmmakers. Fantastic. Yeah. Amazing. Is there anything I left out? Is there anything else?
No, I'd love if people can make it out. I'm really excited for people to finally see it.
Yeah, me too. And it was a pleasant surprise. I had no idea that you were a filmmaker. I had no idea that you made a film about your based on your father. That was and your own experience. So
you said you were into music too. Did you make the music for your own short?
Yeah, were you able to compose?
Allison, my sister, and my boyfriend Dan they both are musicians, and so Allison LaRochelle, like me, and Dan Santos were kind of co-composers on this.
Okay.
But so the music underneath is original. There's no like royalty-free stock
music.
But,
that is cool. That's
but
great
I didn't
when
make
you
it
do
myself.
That.
They
That's
did
great.
that. And I think that also came out awesome. It's in the trailer too. If you want to sneak peek at the music, it's their music.
Amazing. Yeah, it is great. And just you know, a weird anecdote. Yeah, I saw your family over at Christmas Con.
Yep.
Not that long ago. You were there. So
that's where
I saw your family.
Yep. Melissa knows you from school.
Yes, from school. Yeah, she was in my classroom.
Over there. So it was really a delight to see your family. And I think one of the last times I saw your father, he was at the Brian O'Halloran roast.
Yes,
several years ago.
Saw him there.
And it was really good. It was really good to see him. Just having a great time over there. So, but congratulations on conceiving this, shooting it, and now getting it into major film festivals. And I can't wait to see what you come up with.
And more
next.
to come. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
More to come. And is this your first time? No, you said you had a film here a few years ago.
Yes, my first time in Asbury. I don't know when they started doing it in Asbury.
So you did it when we were down. I was always down there in Atlantic City too. Yeah. So I was.
I like it here.
She's seasoned at this.
Okay, you're a veteran then. You're a veteran.
That was ages ago.
Yeah. So we'll see you at all the events. Mm-hmm. And thank you so much for stopping by. We're going to talk to a lot of filmmakers. This one's one that is kind of personal to us. So thank you very much, Samantha LaRochelle. Next Steps again. Saturday, tomorrow, 12:15, at the Jersey Shore Arts Center. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Is there a website or anything? Do you have any social media for this?
Yeah, it has an Instagram page. It's at Next Steps Short Film.
Okay.
And I kind of post most of the updates for the film there. So if it gets in anywhere else, I'll put it up there and people can go see it if you're out of state or something like that. But
fantastic. Yeah. Huge honor having you here, my friend.
Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. The Garden State Film Festival just started, my friends.
Yeah.
If you're watching this at home, get down here. Tickets still available. Events still available. Screenings all day. Come check out one film. Check out all the films. Check out the events during the evening. Or just come down to the podcast lounge at the Berkeley Hotel. Come hang out with us.
Right over there.
Yeah, we got coffee. We got water. We got snacks. We got
Death Wish.
We got Death Wish. We got the world's strongest coffee here. And this is the best party of the weekend, my friend.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Samantha. Thank you, CJ Cullen. We will see you guys. Stay tuned. Many, many more live streams to come. We'll see you guys soon.